afternoon, Board of Zoning Appeals members and our audience. I would like to welcome each and every one of you. So to get this meeting started, I want to open the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. Today is May 21st, 2026. And right now, I'd like for everyone, if they would, please stand if you're able, and we'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, this Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Chairman Vaughan Davis to conduct our meeting.
Thank you, Jada. First action we've got is approval of the agenda. We did meet back in January, had election of officers and updated our materials. So, any questions? You should have received a copy of the minutes. Any questions, corrections that we had to the minutes from the January 15th meeting?
I'll need to do the agenda first.
All right. Sorry, I jumped right in there.
You did.
Let me back up a second. Has everybody had a chance to look at the agenda that we've got for tonight? Any questions on the agenda? Then I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Okay, wait a second.
I'll second.
Thanks, Austin. All those in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Now
Now let me go back to some old business. You should see meeting minutes from January 15th. Any questions? If no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented. So moved. Thank you. I've got a second for that.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Great, so we got minutes approved. I'd like to thank all the BZA members for showing up today. This is the first time we've had everybody at one time in a while. So let's see. So we've got old business, opening business, brings us down to our new business. And we've got two variance requests here. And the first one's going to be for Tommy Savage, Baywood, Market, Deli.
Yes.
Jada, if you could maybe kind of walk us through what you got.
Sure. So in your board packet, I presented a staff report, and it goes through the summary of the case. You have additional attachments. You've got property background, the site conditions and context, but most importantly, you've got the applicable law, which is the Virginia Code 15.2-2309, which is your powers and duties of Board of Zoning Appeals. To be able to grant a variance, there's 5 conditions that a variance request has to meet. And I went through those, and I was able to provide how I felt each one of these particularly met the variance. So I'm just going to run through. I'm sure you've had time to look at the report. We'll take any questions after I go through the just a brief synopsis. So the request for this variance application, which is application 20260065, was submitted by Mr. Tommy Savage of the Baywood Market in Deli, and it is located at 10405 Grayson Parkway. It is zoned in the Rural Farm District, and Mr. Savage is requesting a relief from Article 3, Section 3-13.5D, Table A, that's a mouthful, of the Grayson County zoning ordinance to allow a freestanding illuminated sign with a height of 23 feet 8 inches. That particular measurement came from the schematics in your board packet. 23 feet 8 inches, where the ordinance currently permits a maximum height of 10 feet. That is in the Rural Farm Zone District. The property contains an existing commercial convenience store that was established prior to the adoption of zoning regulations. in 1998 and was operated continuously as a lawful commercial establishment. Staff identified several site-specific conditions affecting the property, including an approximately 70-foot wide VDOT right-of-way. The placement of the sign was the original placement of the sign, was at the lower area of the property, and if the Board of Zoning Appeals has been by there, they know that there's a gravel parking lot where many people tend to park that may do commuting, or other establishments use that for parking. So they had originally had it set back at 70 feet off the center line of the right-of-way. However, when you're coming up the hill, 58 west, as you top the hill, you have a limited visibility of that sign from the roadway, and due to its layout and topography, it would actually probably miss the entrance with that sign there if you didn't know where you were at. So staff evaluated the request under the variance standards of the zoning code 15.2/2309 and found that the request meets the required criteria. Specifically, I find that the hardship is related to unique physical conditions of the property. It was not self-created, and that the request for relief is reasonable and necessary to provide visible, comparable to the surrounding commercial uses. Staff further finds that the request will not create substantial detriment to adjacent properties, remains consistent with the intent of the zoning ordinance. So based on these findings, I recommend approval of the variance request to permit the proposed freestanding illuminated sign at the maximum height of 23 feet 8 inches. Does the board have any questions for me?
One question, in the packet that you provided, there's two photographs that shows the proposed sign at 61 feet, and then another one, proposed sign 70 feet. Which of those two are we considering?
Good observation. So yes, there are two maps in there that the sign company provided to you. The 70-foot one was the original placement, which is from the center line. That puts it back further behind the island, was what I'm going to call the island. It kind of pushes it further back, and it's the topography is as such as you're coming up that hill. I felt like the placement would be inappropriate there. So we requested that we do another placement, which is the 60-foot line, and you'll see where they've located it with an X on that map, and that will kind of push that further back. Line of sight would be as such coming up the road on 58 West. You would be able to see it clear. And so I've also provided in your board packet the map of VDOT's map, and you'll see there that it's funny how VDOT's right-of-ways work. They just kind of fluctuate. And so the certain section that they originally posed to put the sign, there's a 70-foot right-of-way there. But closer on up past the store, which makes more sense to place it there, one for visibility, but it gives you a 60-foot right-of-way. So it can be closer, which gives you a better visual. Any other questions? You're welcome. So, public hearing now. As for motion, I will go to it once you have.
Okay, so at this point, we'd like to open this meeting up for a public hearing. I'll entertain a motion to open this meeting up to the public. Thank you. Second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Could you check to see if it has over this? So there's no one who signed up for any public comment for this particular variance. So at this point, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Thank you. Second? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, so that closes the public comment section for this particular variance and takes us down to the discussion section of this within the board's BCA. Can I close that?
You close.
I did. Do we need to reopen?
No,
We're
you're
good. Okay, so at this point, we're gonna open it up to any of the BZA members that have any questions or comments or discussions on this particular variance request.
And you do have the liberty, Mr. Savage is here tonight, if you have questions for you.
Mr. Savage. Any questions, comments? I mean, you did a really good job of providing this package.
Nice. No
Seeing
comments.
none, there is
I've done a
a,
really good job there.
so there is a proposed motion on here that we would need a motion from somebody on the board to make. Okay, got a motion to approve, and just so that you know what the motion is, it's the, I move to approve the variance request for application 202-60065 to permit freestanding illuminated sign with a maximum height of 23 feet 8 inches in the rural farm district, based upon the findings that the request satisfies the criteria set forth in Virginia Code 15.2-2309. That's the motion. So we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. I got some
Variance granted.
congratulations over there.
So before we get too far along though, I want to make sure that we have a resolution of support. If it's okay, I will
Yes.
read that and I will get everyone's vote so that we have, we're legal. So the resolution for variance request was for approval, tax map number 57-A66D. Whereas the applicant has requested a variance from section 3-13.5D, table A of Grayson County zoning ordinance to permit a freestanding illuminated sign to exceed the maximum permit height of 10 feet in the rural farm district. And whereas the applicant proposes the sign height of up to 23 feet and 8 inches, and whereas the Board of Zoning Appeals has reviewed the application, supporting materials, and testimony presented as a duly advertised public hearing, and whereas the board finds that the request satisfies the requirements of the Virginia Code, section 15.2-2309, specifically that, one, its unique physical conditions affecting the property, including the width of the VDOT right-of-way and site placement, create a hardship related to visibility from the roadway. The hardship was not self-created. Number three, that the requested relief is necessary to permit reasonable visibility and use of the property. Four, the variance will not be a substantial detriment to the adjacent property or the public welfare. And five, the variance remains in harmony with the spirit and intent of the zoning ordinance. Now therefore it be resolved that the Grayson County Board of Zoning Appeals hereby approves the requested variance to permit a freestanding illuminated sign with a maximum height of 23 feet 8 inches to the property. If I could, I will do a roll call vote. Sarah, you made that motion. And Gary, you seconded it. Go through this again, so, Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Hatch? Triple? Sorry. Mr. King?
Yes.
Elizabeth? And Austin? 7. Sign there for me, sir. Oh, you got it. Oh, sorry. Sweet. Thank you all.
Thank you.
So now you can let your sign company know that your variance was approved, and we will be able to permit it and get you guys lit up.
Does she wait for confirmation from you though?
I'll send a letter. I have to send a letter, and I will let her know.
Yeah, I think it has to be.
Yeah, and I'll let her know, because we'll have to do a zoning. Now that this is done, we can actually do the zoning application approval. And so I will work with Michelle to let her know that you are looking good. So you're free to go unless you want to stick around.
You can hang around if you want.
Gonna go watch some grandkids play ball.
There it
Nice.
is.
I'm going to know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, we've also got another variance review request. This is from Douglas Vaughan. It's a residential density variance request. You have a very similar packet to what Jada created before. Jada, would you mind just kind of reviewing the highlights of that source, please?
Again, usually I do try to provide you a synopsis of the things that I have put in here. But in this case, this is applicant Mr. Vaughan. He is permit number 20260076. The property address is at 2490 Liberty Hill Road in Freeze, Virginia. Tax map number is 24-A342C1. And Mr. Vaughan is seeking a relief request for Article 3, Section 3-8C, density for the Grayson County zoning ordinance, which requires structures in the rural farm to have at least 0.688 acres of residential density per single-family dwelling on a parcel of record. So Mr. Vaughan specifically seeks the approval to place a mobile home or a single-family dwelling, whichever he so chooses, on at least a plus or minus 0.52 acre parcel, which does not meet the required 0.688 acres. It's just a little shy. The lot, however, in the past has had a mobile home on it, and I'll also provided inside of your board packet current pictures of what the site looks like, in addition to a map of the parcel showing its location in relationship to Liberty Hill Road and Round Hill Loop. Also provided to you a deed that was on record showing that the survey for this particular parcel was completed by Don Dudley and Jimmy Zay in June 11th of 1980. So the map is also provided to you in your survey showing that it was a piece of property that was cut out prior to zoning ordinance. So technically it is a non-conforming lot based on our current standards. I went through the same as I did the one before. Again, there's the 5 standards that a variance has to meet through the Code of Virginia. That's 15.2.2309. There has to be a hardship, some type of physical condition, can't be self-created, and it should be in a detriment or to adjacent property. And it does have to meet the minimum variance necessary for that. So I was able to determine that he justifiably does fit that. There should be no reason that the Board of Zoning Appeals would deny him, even though it is a non-conforming lot. There was a trailer that was on there. It was demoed by Mr. Harold Hill, which was also included in your board packet. I was actually serving as the permit tech, and I actually remember this particular parcel. We had a little bit of trouble trying to get it completed, but it was done by Mr. Harold Hill in 2016. I will state this, there is a clause inside of the zoning ordinance. As long as we have a non-conforming lot as long as they demo it and they replace it in a 2-year time frame, we don't have to go through this process. So the time frame has elapsed, and so therefore we are here tonight. So my recommendation to the planning commission tonight is to approve the use of the property as for single-family dwelling. Turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Jada. Does anyone have any questions for Jada? Packet information, clarifications?
I do want to point out though, Mr. Vaughan, when he was reading the board packet, I did make a typo. I did make a typo on the applicant. For some reason, I must have been having a busy day, and when I was working on this, I wanted to share that just so everyone I'm being as transparent as possible, but I included the name Douglas Deco. And that's the second page. Anybody see? I apparently was just in one of those going in circles. So I made the changes to my packet. It will be the change that stays inside of the record.
Very good. Any questions for Jada? Well, at this point, we do want to have the opportunity for somebody, if there's anyone that wants to do comment on this in the public. We're going to go ahead and open up at this time, accept the motion to open our meeting up for the public. Second? Thank you, Dennis. All those in favor, saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so Jay's going to check and see if we have anybody out there to sign up. I'm curious, whoever does sign up, they have a maximum of comments for the board. And this time, we do not have any people requesting. So,
Before you close, I do have a letter from the adjoining property owner, and I will read that to the board. I received this on May the 18th, and it is from Kenneth Landreth. It says, I am the only adjoining landowner at 22490 Liberty Hill Road, tax map number 24-A342C1. Douglas Vaughan has requested approval to build a residential structure on the property without the required density allowed in the rural farm zone district. I support this variance request without reservation.
That's the only thing you've had from he's on the Jason.
That's the only one that has, I wanted to make sure that we captured that in public comment.
given that there's no more public comment, I'll accept the motion to close this portion of the meeting for the public hearing. So moved. Second. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. All opposed? Very good. So, meeting closed. Thank you.
All right.
Now, this transitions us to the BZA for any discussions that we have relevant to this variance. Anybody have any discussions, topics, everything concerning?
That's Jay, he builds how far, well, he has distance from the roadway.
Yes, he has plenty.
30.
Yeah, 35 feet from Liberty Hill, and 10 feet to the sides and rear. He does have to conform with that, and there is enough acreage density-wise to allow for placement.
Thanks, Dennis.
Other than the road being widened eventually, that won't affect what he's getting ready to do.
Correct. We want to make sure that we keep that 35-foot distance. Are you aware of Liberty Hill being widened?
No.
Okay, I was just making sure. I was like, did I miss something on the 6-year road plan?
No, but,
You scared me.
you're in government, you know how government works, so.
Yes, sir.
So the just, you know, I didn't know if there were any 6-year road plans or 10-year road plans or what.
100 years?
100 years.
Yeah. Not that I'm aware of, but yes, I believe we've got enough room to be able
That's
to.
one of the old questions we used to be failed to ask.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Seeing none, there is a proposed motion in this packet as well. If there's such a mind,
I make a motion we approve the motions.
motion, I'll read the motion that's in there. It's, I move that the Board of Zoning Appeals approve application 202-60076 based on the findings that the request satisfies the criteria of Virginia Code 15.2-2309 and subject to the outline staff analysis and the staff report. We have a motion to have a second. Second. Thank you, Austin.
And then let's just do a roll call vote.
Let's do a roll call
Who seconded
vote.
that?
Austin did. Let's start down with Dennis.
Yes.
Gary, yes. Ron, yes.
Sarah?
Keith? Elizabeth?
Yes.
Austin? Yes. That makes it unanimous from that standpoint.
That's a little faster that way. And I'll go on and read it just so that we have it for the record. All right, so this is a resolution for variance request, which was approved, tax map number 24-8342C1. Whereas the applicant has requested a variance from Article 3, Section 3-8C of the Grayson County zoning ordinance to allow placement of a single-family dwelling on a parcel containing approximately plus or minus 0.12 acres in the rural farm district. And whereas the Board of Zoning Appeals conducted a duly advertised public hearing and considered the application, staff report, ordinance standards, and public testimony, and whereas the board finds that the request satisfies requirements of the Virginia Code, Section 15.2-2309, specifically findings that, one, the strict application of the ordinance would create an undue hardship due to the parcel's pre-existing size and configuration. Two, the hardship results from conditions unique to the property and not generally shared by other parcels. Three, that the hardship was created by the applicant. Four, granting the variance will not be detrimental to adjacent properties or the public welfare, and the variance represents the minimum relief necessary to permit reasonable use of the property. Now therefore it be resolved that the Board of Zoning Appeals of Grayson County hereby approves variance 2026-0076 to allow the placement of one single-family dwelling on the subject property. Well,
So, Doug, we're good to go, it looks like.
All right, thank you.
so Doug, what we'll do is I'll get you a letter just stating that the variance was approved, and then when you're ready to be able to set the home, there's no specific time frame,
Okay.
but we'll want to make sure that we'll go through the process just like we would with any other home set up. We'll do a
Right.
zoning approval, and then you'll go through the building side. So you're
All right.
all set.
Thank y'all, everybody.
Yep, you're very welcome. You have a good rest of your evening.
That concludes any new business that I've got down here. Just a huge thank you to each of you for your diligence in looking through this information. Nearly everybody had kind of looked at the packet. You did a great job for us.
Try to make it as simple as possible. And these felt for a little cut dry.
Jenny, do you have anything else for us?
No, not at this time. Don't really have much, the planning commission has a lot happening, but, that's just because, our new legislation has came out. Kind of do some updates to our, renewable energy section for solar and battery storage now. So that we'll be working on that. There'll be some changes in the zoning ordinance for our subdivision ordinance has to be updated just because we've had a, legislative change that happened in 2025 where it takes the planning commission and the board of supervisors out of play for a lot of things in regards to subdivisions. And so there's a designated agent rule that was in place, and that's to basically push development through faster. We've worked on that. We've got that squared away. There's a few things that we're trying to shore up before we actually have a public hearing on it. That's about it for now. You're welcome.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Second,
Second.
Austin. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. Meeting's closed.